Alright guys, so we just wrapped up a killer shoulder workout with Sheena, and she did something really cool this time. She knew we were going to shoot in advance, so what did you do? Tell me what you did.
What I did is I did a little post on Instagram, and I said I was going to do a shoulder session with Dave, but also a Q&A. So I invited people to either comment or send me direct messages or send me emails and ask me some questions that they wanted me to answer so that I could kind of deal with and discuss what you guys want me to talk about rather than just what I feel like.
It's so cool that you make this interactive. I'm sure they'll be grateful. So what's the first question, Sheena?
One question was, how often do I practice posing? And I jokingly answered and said, like, between every set, because I'm always posing in the mirror. And I mean, that's kind of a little bit of an exaggeration, but I do practice often, even if it's not actually, say, in the posing room with my heels on, but I'm always kind of looking at the angles, because at the end of the day, bikini is all about using your posing, so the way that you position your body and the way that you work with angles to show off your best assets and to hide things that you don't want the judges to see. Okay, so it's about having an hourglass shape. You want to have a small waist and a big booty, and, you know, broadness through your shoulders, so you want to appear wide and then narrow and then wide, so the way that you angle yourself is really important. And then the reason I practice so often is that as your body changes, those angles are going to need to change as well. You know, a lot of people, when they start competing in their first show, they might not have much of a booty. I sure didn't, and they may not have much shoulders, but as you develop, you're going to have to kind of evolve your posing with you know, with your body.
Readjust, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always practicing, even if it's not focused practice, which I would probably do a couple of times a week when I'm getting closer to a show. But even in my off season, you know, I'm always kind of overanalyzing my physique and looking, you know, how could I make my waist look a little bit smaller, or how could I just slightly change this so that my, you know, my shoulders look a bit better, or my legs look a bit slimmer, or whatever. So it doesn't stop, it's always evolving.
Gotcha. You're good.
Another question that I've been asked, kind of the same question in a lot of different ways, is about the fasted training I've been doing from the Olympia, which is kind of just after we shot our last video, Dave, through until the last shows that I did in Russia and then in Florida, and then leading right through until my show in Italy, which is in just less than 2 weeks. I've been doing a lot of fasted training, including fasted cardio. I'm actually going to do a blog post so I can actually write something substantive on this, because there's a lot of opinions, a lot of different viewpoints, but people have basically said, why are you training fasted so much? Isn't it going to break down muscle? And yes, it is, if you do that all the time, but I've actually been trying to break down muscle. So my feedback after the Olympia was to bring my legs in tighter. I've never actually focused on training legs, like quads in particular. I started doing ballet when I was 3, so I've always had muscly quads, and that's without training them at all. Like, when I was a teenager, it was hard to find a boyfriend with smaller quads than me. It was serious, Dave. So I've never ever trained quads. I don't do squats. Like, just looking at a squat and my quads will grow. So basically, to downsize my legs, people said, well, why don't you just train them less? Well, I already didn't train them. So what I've had to do is I've had to overtrain them to basically train them so much and so often and with such high volume that I haven't given them time to recover. So I've actually significantly shrunk my legs in tighter by training legs fasted almost every day and doing fasted cardio. So people are saying, you know, aren't you going to shrink? Well, yes, I am. And that's what I have been trying to do. But I'm going to do a longer blog post about fasted cardio, because fasted cardio is something that there are a lot of different opinions on as well, and sometimes it's practical, sometimes it's effective. It depends actually a lot on your lifestyle. I don't think fasted cardio is like mandatory. I think that it can be effective, but it can also be just as effective to do cardio later on in the day if that suits your lifestyle better. So make sure you go to my website, SheenaJayneFitness.com, and subscribe. I'm going to have a blog post going out this week on Friday.
You better now. Yeah. Can you get one more question?
One more question, and I do get asked this a lot. And again, there are a lot of opinions, so it's hard to actually give a verbal answer that covers everything, and I probably won't. But people asking me what I think of if it fits your macros and if I believe in it. I think that there is a merit to obviously fitting your macros. I always work in macros, so I'm tracking my macros throughout the day, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of like playing this freaky maths game all day where you're working out what you've eaten and how much you've got left. So I guess do if it fits your macros, but I eat clean as well, and I think that's the important thing. I do follow if it fits your macros, but I fit my macros with good, whole, clean foods. You know, I eat lean protein sources, lean chicken, lean turkey, egg whites, my Optimum Nutrition supplements, and, you know, good clean carbs as well. I think that your body, your body is a machine, so it's just like a car. You know, if you put crappy fuel into a car, you're not going to get good results. If you put crappy fuel into your body, you're not going to get the same results. So I mean, I could eat you know, a stack of white rice, or I could eat a handful of lollies, and I might get the same carbohydrate content, but what do you think is going to make your body actually perform better and look better? You know, I see a lot of people saying that they compete and they do it if it fits your macros, and they still eat ice cream and this and that. I would still challenge them and say that they could look better if they ate good, whole, clean foods. Right. So I think it is important to track your macros, and I do prefer to work on a macro basis rather than calories. So I work out my macros, and then I don't count, you know, green vegetables. So I fill up on fibrous carbs when my macros are getting pretty low, close to a show. But it's always, you know, eating clean, because yes, calories in, calories out is relevant, but also if you want to get good results, you have to eat good quality whole foods.
There you go. Thanks, Sheena.